person stands on a cliff. Oh, we gotta draw pictures here. There we go. This is a little bit dangerous looking question. Throws a stone up in the air. Ooh, there's water, so this is actually exciting. Hits the water a few seconds later. Perfect. There is our picture. Throwing a stone up into the air, hitting the water a few seconds later. This cliff happens to be 55 meters tall. And they say that the equation is modeled by this. H equals 55 plus 30t minus 5t squared. When will the stone hit the water? I know some of you have taken physics questions. This is very similar to like a physics question where you're like, okay, I've got a distance, I've got gravity. You can plug things into your physics formula. But now, if we have an equation for this, we can figure this out with the math that we just learned. First of all, does it make sense if they're asking when it will hit the water, that when it hits the water, what's the height? 0. Because you're 55 meters above, throw it up in the air, hits the water, then we're going to say that height is 0. That changes our equation then to 0 equals, and I'm going to rewrite this with the t squared first, plus the 30t, plus the 55. What don't I like in this equation right now? Don't like that negative 5. Bleh. So what would I need to do? Divide by negative 5, or take this whole side and multiply by negative 1/5, which means I also have to multiply. Sometimes we get lazy and don't show the multiply on the other side because it's such easy math to do to get 0. But if I multiply this by negative 1/5, you see that you would get t squared minus 6t, and then minus 11. Okay? This question is a little bit different than the previous ones because now we're zeros on the left side. Does that make a difference? No. Might just feel a little bit weird. But just like before, I'm going to move the 11 over to this side. T squared minus 6t. I'm going to leave a space here and leave a space on this side. And I'm going to complete the square. So I'm going to say, on this side, I want something squared. Look at our hint. Oh, we got a theme happening today, though. The hint's a minus 6. Can you see this has to be minus 3? So what do we get to add to both sides? Plus 9. Oh, wow. Sorry. Make things that aren't fun. Not supposed to. So we add 9 to both sides. And then 9 plus 11, that would be 20. And now you can square root both sides. Remember your plus or minus. You can add 3 to both sides. I like having my t equals, I don't know, something about it feels better if it's on the left side than the right side. So I add 3 to both sides. Am I done? No. What family does root 20 belong to? That's your root 5 family. So you have to simplify your square root of 20. Oh, but it does say write your answer to the nearest tenth of a second. So we do have to put these into our calculator. And there's 2 of them. We have 3 plus 2 root 5. So I'll try that one first. 3 plus 2 root 5. That gives me 7.47. The question said to the nearest tenth. 7.5. What's our units? Does it say? In seconds. So we add our units. And the other one we have 3 minus 2 root 5, which gives us negative 1.5 seconds. And because this is a word problem, we should analyze what these answers mean and what we were trying to solve for. Okay? Answer number 1. Okay, we were trying to solve for how long does it take the stone to hit the water. Answer number 1 says you throw it in the air and 7.5 seconds later it hits the water. Okay? Answer number 2 says you threw it in the air and a second and a half before you threw it, it hit the water. Can you see that the second answer, even though it's an answer, and even though mathematically it works, in the context makes no sense. You can't have something hit the water before you throw it. So we do need to go down to here and put an X through this one. Right? I don't know. Does not make sense. No, it's not. You're going to confuse, if you write that down, you're going to look at that later and be so confused. Yeah. Okay. So our questions on this one, questions 6 and 7, and now you can have some time to work on some of them.